If you're the person who hates making a fuss, prefers fixing the problem over talking about the problem, keeps a backup plan in your head even while saying, yeah, I should be fine, and would rather carry the load quietly than risk looking needy, you might be hearing your own inner voice right now. And if you're watching this thinking, that's me, but I'm not even sure why, this video is for you. Gen X, roughly born between 1965 and 1980, grew up in a weird in-between era. Old enough to remember when privacy was normal, mistakes were local, and information cost time. Young enough to be pushed into a world where everything is documented, searchable, and occasionally weaponized. Psychologically, they're often the bridge generation, not celebrated like the destination, not hyped like the next big thing, just quietly holding the weight. A big part of Gen X psychology starts with early independence. Research and reviews on latchkey kids, children who regularly cared for themselves after school, show that a meaningful share of kids spent after-school hours without an adult present, especially when parents worked full-time. When you grow up letting yourself in, sorting out snacks, homework, and small emergencies alone, your brain learns a powerful rule: don't assume someone's coming. That can create real strengths: resourcefulness, calm under pressure, practical problem solving. But it can also wire in a stubborn reflex: asking for help feels like losing. And here's the thing, this isn't about Gen X being cold or emotionless, it's about what felt safest. If you learned early that you had to handle things, you probably got good at handling things. The downside is you may also feel strangely uncomfortable when someone offers support, like your nervous system doesn't know where to put it. Then there's the way Gen X watched the rules change in real time. Promises of stability didn't always hold. Families shifted, workplaces restructured, economies wobbled. So many Gen Xers developed a mindset that looks like pessimism from the outside, but feels like protection on the inside. Hope lightly, prepare heavily. In psychology, there's a concept called defensive pessimism, using lower expectations and detailed what-if thinking as a strategy to manage anxiety and prepare effectively, rather than giving up. It's not nothing will work, it's if something goes wrong, I won't be blindsided. Think of it like packing a jumper even in a Perth summer. Most days you won't need it, but you refuse to be caught out. This also helps explain Gen X's relationship with social media and visibility. For a lot of them, privacy isn't secrecy, it's safety. They grew up when embarrassment didn't have an audience. Now, one awkward moment can be clipped, shared, and replayed, so they often choose a lower profile. And the famous Gen X dry humor? That can be a shield, not a personality gimmick. A quick joke keeps emotion at arm's length. It says, I'm fine, without opening the full story. At work, Gen X often respects competence more than titles. You'll notice it in how they follow leadership. Prove you can do the job, and they'll back you. Hide behind status, and they'll quietly disengage. But here's the part that doesn't get enough credit. Gen X can be intensely independent and quietly collaborative at the same time. They might never announce they're struggling, but if you're stuck, they'll show up. No fanfare, no virtue signaling, no LinkedIn post about teamwork. They help like someone handing you the right tool at Bunnings. Practical, timely, and without making it a whole thing. Another overlooked piece is how Gen X learned information. Basic psychology distinguishes between automatic encoding and effortful processing. When information requires attention and work, it often sticks differently than information absorbed effortlessly. Gen X spent years in a world where you had to search, ask, try, fail, and try again. That shapes a belief in hands-on competence. If you can't fix it with patience and effort, it's not really fixed. That's why some Gen Xers feel uneasy when everything becomes just Google it or just outsource it. Not because they hate modern tools, but because effort used to be the price of certainty. Now, if you're listening and feeling a familiar heaviness, like you're always the reliable one, the steady one, the one who handles it, I want to say this gently. Being capable doesn't mean you should be alone. I'm not here to diagnose you or promise a cure, but it's worth naming the pattern with compassion. Self-reliance is a skill. It's also a habit, and habits can be adjusted without shame. A small experiment, if you're willing, might be practicing support in tiny, low-stakes ways. Ask someone to double-check a message. Tell a mate, I've got a lot on this week. Let help land without immediately paying it back, not as weakness, as adulthood. Gen X isn't invisible. It's foundational. Like a bridge, you don't need applause to matter, but
but you do deserve to be seen. If this hit home, drop a comment. What's your most Gen X trait? Handling everything yourself, dry humor, or always planning for the rug pull? And if you want more psychology that feels human, practical, and non-judgmental, subscribe and stick around. I'll be here with you.